Dear audience, Assalamu alaikum. A gracious welcome to you all on the second round of first inter-school English debate competition organized by Bangladesh Television Chattogram Center. For good ideas and true innovation, you need human interaction, conflict, argument, debate, quoted by Margaret Heffernan. Yes, dear viewers, debate is a powerful tool for creating an innovative and logical mind. Dear audience, today the selected motion for the debate competition is environment pollution is the major threat to future generation. The team for the motion belongs to Dr. Khastagir Government Girls High School, Chattogram. The team against the motion belongs to Ananda Multimedia School and College, Cumilla. Speakers for the motion are Raifa Nawal Zinan, Mumtahina Mehbooba Tasnim, and their team leader Munkar Tarannum. Speakers against the motion are Fahima Akhtar, Mansoora Jahan, and their team leader Tasfiya Ulfat Usha. The honorable adjudicators of this session are Adel Mostaq Ahmed, debate coach, learning leaders, China; Afroza Akhtar Tonni, lecturer, Department of Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, University of Chattogram; and Sardar Naushad Imtiaz, Head of Marketing, Confidence Salt Limited. The topics on which our honorable judges are going to assign marks in the constructive round are Presentation 5, Language and Pronunciation 10, Presentation of Theory and Information 15, Argumentation and Rebuttal 10. The topics on which marks will be awarded in the rebuttal round are Presentation 5, Language and Pronunciation 5, Argumentation and Rebuttal 20. Dear viewers, now we are going to introduce our honorable moderator of today's program, who will conduct the entire competition and announce the results at the end. The honorable moderator of today's competition is Dr. Tawfiq Said, Treasurer, Premier University. Now I would humbly request you, sir, to come up on the stage and take your seat. Before we start the debate, let me inform you about the order and time allocation of each debater. Each debater will get 5 minutes to present his speech. An alarm bell will ring on the 4th minute and the final bell will ring on the 5th minute. In the rebuttal round, both the team leaders will get 2 minutes each. Alarm bell will ring on 1.5 minutes and the final bell will ring on the 2nd minute. Dear viewers, you can enjoy this episode on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Our Facebook page link, facebook.com/BTV Chattogram. Our YouTube channel link, www.youtube.com/@BTV Chattogram. Now I most humbly request you, the honorable moderator, to preside over this session and start the debate.
Welcome to the second round of First International Inter-School English Debate Competition 2023. Today's topic is environment pollution is a major threat to future generation. Now I'm inviting the first speaker from Dr. Khastagir Government Girls High School, Chattogram, Raifa Nawal Zinan.
Some call me nature and others call me Mother Nature. I've been here for over 4.5 billion years, 22,500 times faster than you. Yes, your future depends on me. Your action will determine your fate, not mine. I'm nature, I'll go on. I'm prepared to evolve. Are you? We have only one Earth. Under this slogan, 50 years ago, the Environment Day was celebrated. Well, honorable moderator, the motion set for today is that environment pollution is a major threat for our future generation. So today, me and my team will be describing about some topics such as air pollution, water pollution, excessive temperature, and then there is also impact on our economy for our future generation, and at the same time in educational sector, and there is as well as how long the pollution will be in our earth and what will happen if this pollution goes on. Well, so before we begin, let us clarify what is environment pollution. So, environment pollution, the addition of any substance, solid, liquid, or gas, or any forms of energy, such as heat or sound or radioactivity to the environment at a rate faster than it can be dispersed, diluted, or actually recycled or stored in some harmless form. So, it as well as includes our society, families, and etc., the problems of it. So now let's come to the point. The major kinds of the pollutions usually classified by environment, such as it could be air pollution or land pollution or water pollution. And most importantly, major or just modern societies are also concerned about some other pollutants, such as it could be sound pollution, light pollution, and at the same time, plastic pollution. Now, the question remains, why is it a threat to the future generation? So see, we must remember that children's lives are interlocked with the environment, and the environment, actually whatever happens in the environment, that affects the children. And it is said by John Scobbart, a human rights officer and a UNEP implementing agency. And for example, as reported by World Health Organization, every year 5,70,000 children under 5 years die from respiratory diseases such as pneumonia attributable to indoor and outdoor air pollution and secondhand smoke. And moreover, 3,61,000 children under 5 years die due to diarrhea as a result of poor access to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene. Furthermore, 2 lakh children under 5 years die from unintentional injuries and attributable to the environment, such as poisoning, falls, and at the same time, drowning. Now, let's give an example here, and that happened in our Bangladesh. In SSC examination, and that is an SSC examinee, Tofajjal said that, I have not been able to study for several days, being at shelter with my family due to the floods. Returning home, I found that the floods water had washed away my books, geometry set, etc. Tofajjal lamented that anytime the exam could occur, and now where will I get my books? So there are a lot of students like Tofajjal who had been the worst sufferer of the devastating flood of Sylhet. And there is as well as a report on this that accordance with Dhaka Tribune, the pass rate of SSC examination is the lowest in our country, which is 80% lower than the previous year. So these are the example, and at the same time, you can tell the opponent's team can argue in this regard that internet can play a role and as a threat to the future generation. So let's come to the point. Most important and most interestingly, internet can be as well as a pollution, and that is connected to environment pollution. So, see, internet pollution is defined as all digital actions emitting greenhouse gases, and the digital world represents a substantial environmental impact and creates a large carbon footprint, 4% of all greenhouse gases. And according to IEA, watching an hour of video that had been streamed on Netflix entails emissions of 36 gram carbon dioxide. And keeping in mind that a trip by airplane from London to New York is the equivalent to 1.3 tons of carbon dioxide. So, in mathematical terms, if I compare environment pollution as a universal set, in this case, internet and the others will be the subset of it. So, these all are connected to the environment pollution and which is threatening our future generation. So, it is said that we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. Rather, we borrow it from our children. And consequently, I want to end up here with a speech that is, Mother says, I know there's still a hope for future together, but it's up to you. It's in your best interest to take care of me. The choices you make and the actions you take will define your future of mankind. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Now I'm inviting the first speaker from Ananda Multimedia School and College, Cumilla, Fahima Akhtar.
Where is creation, there is pollution, and it's totally normal. However, thank you, Honorable Moderator, the judges, opponents, greetings. Today the motion before this house is environment pollution is the major threat to future generation. For very logical reason, me and my team would like to establish our position against it. This is Fahim Akhtar, the first debater from Team Against Motion. To say, I will ruin your family is much awful to you than saying, I will harm you. Likewise, environment pollution can harm you but can't totally destroy your entire family. Environment pollution means the addition of different types of chemical substances with the environment that create changes in the environment. And it's a very common incident for us because it's happening from the beginning of human civilization. And for this, the earth is not destroyed. Rather, sometimes it becomes a blessing for us. Ask me how. According to RRST, a scientific article that is published states that garbages can be converted into tissue using the biodegradable energy production process. In this process, thousands of tons of garbages can be converted into methane gas. And this methane gas is a great source of electricity. And using this methane, China produces 1,18,645 gigawatt electricity, USA produces 71,714 gigawatt electricity, Germany produces 57,200 gigawatt electricity, and the countries like Brazil, India, UK produces more than 40,000 gigawatt electricity. And the whole process is carbon free. Here I have a graph chart. Here you can completely say that environment pollution is decreased by this process. Carbon emission has decreased so much, and it will open a new branch of job for the young population. My dear opponent, where utilizing environment pollution, we can enhance our living standard. Here, how can you say that it's a major threat to future generation? Okay, now you may say it's not enough to overcome the threat, but to give you no scope to say this, let me show you some more examples. Selling the black smoke, BSRM earned 160 crore taka. This news was published on Ekushe Patrika on 6th March 2022, which states that BSRM produced zinc ash processing the black smoke while producing iron. And the last 4 years, exporting this zinc ash, they earned 160 crore taka. It's a huge deal. Not only this, a house made of garbage. With this headline, a news was published on Kaler Konto on 11th June 2017, which states that McDonald, a Scottish citizen, built his entire house using the tons of garbages for only £15,000. Honorable moderator, if you notice here, you will see that utilizing environment pollution, we can decrease the harmfulness of environment pollution. But what my opponents are trying to say is not the harmfulness of environment pollution, rather the harmfulness of the unconscious mind of the people. Let me give you an example. Before coming to this show, all of you must have eaten something, right? And it was cooked using fire. This fire has polluted the environment by emitting carbon dioxide gas. But you can't term it as a threat for you because it helped you to survive. But when you will produce more and more carbon dioxide, which will create adverse changes in the environment, then it will be a threat for you. In both cases, environment pollution is common. But in the second case, it's becoming a threat. So here, environment pollution is not a threat. Rather, the threat is the unconsciousness of the people. So, honorable moderator, at this point, I can strongly say that environment pollution is not the major threat. Rather, it's a minor and very minor threat for us. But there is another threat in our world which can destroy our entire future generation. And that is the misuse of scientific technology. And when we will talk about the misuse of scientific technology, then the first thing that comes into our mind is the misuse and dependency on AI technology. Father of AI, Geoffrey Harrington expressed worries about AI technology. He termed it as an extensive threat for human being. He stated that some days after it will control us. These robots will control us. My dear opponent, can we imagine how much threatful it would be for us to be controlled by the technology that we made someday? Not only this, misinformation is the greatest danger of AI. Look at this picture. It's an example of fake image, and just imagine, it's a girl. What would be her situation in the society? Not only this, some days ago, a Bangladeshi TikTok star and entrepreneur was a victim of deep fake video where her face was replaced in an offensive video to destroy her social reputation. There is thousands of examples like this. Not the least, but the last, unemployment, the greatest danger of AI technology. According to the World Economic Forum predicts that by 2050, there could be up to 7 billion people without a job just because of automation. Not only this, the United Nations report stated that unemployment possesses greater threat than environment pollution. Honorable moderator, our world's population is increasing day by day tremendously. And in this situation, if there is a lack of job like this, then how will they earn their money? My dear opponent, in this situation, will they die for unemployment or for your environment pollution? Please give us the answer. So at the end of my discussion, I can strongly say that environment pollution is never the major threat. Rather, the major threat is the misuse of scientific technology. Thank you, sir.
Now I'm inviting for the motions team, the second speaker, Mumtahina Mahbuba Tasneem.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me a chance to speak today. Today, our given topic is environment pollution is the major threat to the future generation, and I'm standing for the motion. EPA determined that emission of CO2 and other greenhouse gases that live up to atmosphere endangers and threats the welfare of our next generation by causing climate change and also ocean acidification, verified by www.epagovernment.com. I would like to highlight that our first speaker of the opponent team say that environment pollution cannot harm our entire family. They can only harm a single person or a limited person. Let me clarify you to that. What will happen if we keep polluting our environment at this rate? Air pollution creates not only smog and reduced visibility, but also significantly decrease the amount of sunlight that reaches the earth. And as we know, sunlight is a key component of photosynthesis. With its lower dose getting to the plants, forests, and crops, we will see our food supply dwindle with years. And the second thing they say that about recycling and stuff. Recycling takes a huge amount, okay? Like in this motion, we are talking about the whole world, not for a limited countries. Other countries don't have enough money to provide that kind of technology for their country for recycling. Countries like Uganda, countries like Bangladesh can also afford it. So the third thing is the unconscious mind. Let me tell you why unconscious mind occur. Air pollution. Air pollution causes unconscious mind. Future generation children will born with lower IQs for it. They will have learning disability. Learning disability is linked with unconscious minds because they have EPA, a mental disease that they can focus on one thing correctly. Second thing, they will face behavior problems. They will born with lower IQ. They will born with neurological problem when they're in the womb of their mother. Carbon monoxide will also lead to various health disorders. It will impact us by affecting the food we eat, the air we breathe in, the water we drink. Air pollution also affects on the immune system of children. Children's bodies will grow more sensitive to diseases and pollution. Hotter temperatures, air pollution, and violent storms are leading to immediate life-threatening danger for children, including difficulty in breathing, malnutrition, and higher risk of infectious diseases. My opponent team said that misuse of scientific technology, it's because of lower IQs, it's because of neurological problem that they don't have enough power of thought that they are doing those wrong things to other people, as well as it's for AI that they are using artificial intelligence to misuse the technology and they are making fake photos. It's for lower IQs because they don't know what's right and wrong. They don't know the difference. It's because air pollution is making them face that. At the second point, I would like to say that human-induced climate change is the largest, most precipitous threat to the natural environment and societies the world has ever experienced, and the poorest countries are paying the highest price of it. UN experts says on October 21st, 2022. Climate change is playing like the major impact on here. Like here, the impact of climate change including warming temperatures, changes in perception, increasing the frequency on intensity of extreme weather, and rising sea levels. How climate change affect the future generations' economy? The weather has an extreme potential to weaken one's economic growth through damage to the capital stock and supply labor and supply productivity, and labor productivity will also weaken as the world economy adjusts to the higher temperatures. Inflation will also rise to the cost of food, energy, and insurance. The impact of climate change on different sectors of society are interrelated. Drought can harm the food production and human health. Flooding can spread diseases and damage ecosystem and fracture human health issues and increase mortality, impact of food availability, and limit worker productivity. Water pollution. More than 50 kinds of diseases are caused by poor drinking water quality. 80% of diseases and 50% of child death are related to poor water drinking quality. Water pollution also causes skin diseases, malnutrition, and also cancer. What will happen to our earth if we keep polluting at this rate? the air pollution will literally destroy the earth. And how long the earth has with this rate of pollution? The current rate of greenhouse pollution is so high that earth has about 11 years to rein in emission if countries want to avoid the worst damage of climate change in the future. New study includes by www.npr.com. Here, my opponent team tried their best to state that they can do, face this, or they can overcome this problem by using technology and stuff. But technology will not give you oxygen. Technology will not give you oxygen. Instead it produces carbon dioxide. So, what do you need? You need to plant more trees for it. Thank you, Honorable Moderator. Thank you.
Now, I'm inviting the second speaker from the against the motion team, Mansoora Jahan.
I have the nuclear button on my desk. It is an open threat of North Korea's dictator Kim Jong-un to America's former president Donald Trump. Is environment pollution a major threat than this? However, here present, honorable moderator, respectable judges, dear opponents, and all of my well-wishers. At first, take my salam, assalamu alaikum. Today, the motion of the House is environment pollution is the major threat to future generations. This is Mansoora Jahan, the second debater on against of today's motion. Speaking on the against of today's motion, at first, I would like to discuss the threats which are more terrifying than environment pollution. Among them, the mentionable one is misuses of science and technology. Biological weapon. Biological weapon is the major threat to future generation. But at first, we have to know what actually biological weapon is. It means the weapon that can be made by living organisms such as virus, bacteria, etc. It was first used by the British in 1763. It is also used in World War I, World War II, Soviet Union in 1979, Japan in 1995, USA in 2001. It is made by a special technology called CRISPR-Cas9. Here comes the term bioterrorism, where the people are always trying to create the misuse of the power of the science. They're always trying to create modified microbes that can cause dangerous damage inside every vital organs of human being. The modified microbes can cause damage in heart, lungs, brain, even the nervous system. And if this happens so, it will be a doomsday for us, and the future generation will have to fight against the enemy, which they're unable to see, unable to fight, and they will die without making any protection. Then, my dear opponent, how can you say environment pollution is the major threat to future generation, whereas the biological weapon is knocking at the door to kill them? I hope you will give us a logical answer. The second misuse of technology is smartphone addiction. A news was published on 23 July 2022 that shows that about 91% students is suffering from mental problem because of smartphone addiction. Among them, about 66.1% students think that the main reason for the mental problem is smartphone addiction, for which the world will fall into a darkness and they will have the lackings of new talent. The professor and the suicide specialist of Florida State University named Thomas Joyner said spending extra time for smartphone or watching the display of any electronic devices increases the possibility of depression, suicide, and suicidal attempt. And if this happens so, there will be also some mental problems. Source from Protamalo, 20 December 2020. Honorable moderator, there are a lot of accidents occurring across the globe because of smartphone addiction. Honorable moderator, I'm showing you some news headlines. A yacht in Thar suicided in arrogance as the parents didn't give mobile phone, which was published on Shirajganj News 24. A schoolgirl suicided for not having smartphone in Ladpur, which was published on the Daily Amadir Rajshahi. Bindu suicide because of breaking mobile phone, which was published on the Shomoy TV News. Honorable judges, there are also some online games that causes addiction, even death, for the new generation. For example, Blue Whale, PUBG, Free Fire, etc. They're in the deep sleep, they dream about their game, and scream out, like, attack, attack, attack. My dear opponent, is this a teaser of film? Like this, millions of the accidents are occurring across the world, and it's increasing more and more. As we say, today's children are tomorrow's future. But these children are being killed because of smartphone addiction. Had your environment pollution killed such innocent small child? But the phone addiction had killed such innocent small child. Then how can you say environment pollution is the major threat to future generation? I hope you'll give us a logical answer. Another news is published on the Daily Gigantor 13 July 2023 that shows that at present, throughout the world, about 73 crore 50 lakh people are suffering from severe food crisis, which is 12 crore more than the pandemic COVID-19. Source from FAO. Honorable Moderator, I'm showing you some pictures of children affected from food crisis. Here is the picture. The children is affected from severe food crisis. Here is another picture where the bones can be counted of the children because of the food crisis. My dear opponent has asked me some questions which I think which is totally illogical. They have talked about the new generation have no IQ. Then if they have no IQ, then how they're making the fake videos using their IQs? Another question from the opponent was that about economy. They talked about economy. Do you know, have there any mentionable economy in our topic? So today's topic is not about economy. So don't try to talk about economy. You have talked about the earth will be destroyed because of excessive pollution. But it is a totally slow process. If we bomb here, 100 nuclear bomb, will there any existence of Earth? I don't think so. So the main problem is not environment pollution. Rather, the main problem is the consciousness of the people. We have to raise the consciousness of the people. Environment pollution is not the major threat. It is a very tiny issue. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, for the motions team leader, Munkar Tarannum. I'm inviting Munkar Tarannum to place her points.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me the opportunity to deliver my speech. I want to say at the outset that neither I nor any of my team members are saying that the points my opponent has spoken about have no impact on our future generation. Of course they do, but it's a big problem, not the biggest one. It's minor, not the major one. First of all, my opponent said that methane gas is producing electricity. It needs a particular amount, and it's possible for the developed country, not underdeveloped country or lower developed country. And the most important thing, maybe it's producing electricity, but it's damaging our ozone layer. And it's too much dangerous. Number 2, they said about AL or artificial intelligence of ChatGPT. Nice. Of course, it's a threat, but still, I will say it's the minor one. Why I'm saying that it's the minor one, then let me describe about it. Today, the opposition are calling ChatGPT a major threat to our future generation. In this case, it may cause hundreds of problems, but now it's giving a solution of 1,000 problems in our business, in our education, in our healthcare, in our politics, banking, programming, media and entertainment, economy, and what not. So we cannot ignore it at all because it also has some benefits. But can you give me some benefits of environmental pollution? I don't think so. Number 2, they said that the ChatGPT is destroying our humanity. Okay, why it's happening? Because now we have an artificial man-made environment around us. And this man-made environment is making a shape of our mentality. That's why we are making fake videos. We are using AI as a harmful technology. And they say that, in the second time, that ICT, misuse of technology. So what is your solution? We will stop using ICT. Do you think so? No. Although technology has bad effects, but the good effects are many. We can never say that we will ignore the ICT because of their bad effects. Basically, our future generation are benefited more than being harmed by technology. So, the negative sides are very less if we compare it with the positive sides of technology. But environmental pollution again has no positive sides. The topic you are talking about, misuse of technology, ChatGPT, or unconscious mind, everything has a positive sides, but environmental pollution has no negative sides. They are talking about a smartphone. The opponents, when highlighted the issue of technology, in this case, it is necessary to mention that most of the technology, like solar panels, turbines, power generations, etc., depends on environment. And not only them, the smartphone or computers are also depend on environment. How? It should be known that this technology are made from various natural minerals like molybdenum, lanthanum, silicon, indium, europium. And as a result, here the environment is most, not the smartphone, because when the environmental pollution, when temperature, humidity, warmth, etc. are changed, these small particles of minerals are damaged. In this case, if we do not prevent environmental pollution, there will be no technology actually, and there will be no bad effect of technology. So the first thing is we have to save our environment. Secondly, they said the future generation is getting addicted to games. They are attempting suicide. Now, my question is it a really major threat? Because in 1993, Humayun Ahmed made a drama named Kothao Keo Nei. At the drama, Bakir Bhai are hanged up. So at that time, did any generation get hanged up? Because Bakir Bhai got hanged up? No, I don't think so. The thing is the mentality. Am I attempting suicide because my mother didn't give me smartphone? I don't think it's a solution. So here the problem is totally their personal problem. It's not a major threat to every child, every future generation. My last thing, I want to say some reports. According to the health experts, the average life expectancy of people will decrease by 9 years due to environmental pollution in the future. A new study by Lancet Commission on Health or Pollution found that deaths due to environmental pollution increased by 7 years from 2015 to 2021. So what you will say in this case? Is your technology murdering 7% future generation? I don't think so. Thank you.
Now I'm inviting the team leader against the motions team, Tasfiya Ulfat Usha.
You can see the tiny mosquito that is flying in front of you, but you cannot see the giant elephant that is passing by you. Likewise, environment pollution is the tiny mosquito, but there are many threats like the giant elephant to the future generation. However, here present, honorable moderator and respectable judges, first of all, take my salam, assalamu alaikum. Today, the motion of this house is environment pollution is the major threat to the future generation. But I can strongly say that there are many threats that are more dangerous to the future generation than environment pollution. One of them is nuclear war and nuclear weapons. In the World War II, 1939 to 1945, 8 crores of people were killed. It is seen in the report of 2022 that 90 lakhs of people died due to various environment pollution. If we consider 1 crore of people die in 1 year, then 6 crores of people will die in 6 years. But during World War II, 8 crores of people were killed in 6 years. And the war between Russia and Ukraine is giving the warning of World War III. Now, my question is to you that how can you think environment pollution as a bigger threat than the World War? I hope you will give me a logical answer. Honorable judges, different steps had been taken to reduce environment pollution, and it is decreasing day by day. But even after giving so many prohibitions to the nuclear weapons, its number is still increasing. I am showing you a statistics which was published on the Daily Star Bangla on 25th November 2022 that shows the number of the nuclear weapons present in different powerful countries. Like Russia has 5,977, US has 5,428, China 350, France 290, UK 225, Pakistan 165, India 160, Israel 90, and North Korea 20 nuclear weapons. Honorable moderator, I also have the picture of the nuclear explosion that occurred in the Hiroshima of Japan during World War II. This is the picture, and nearly 80,000 of the people were killed immediately. Now, my question is to you that how can you think environment pollution as a threat over these nuclear weapons which can kill millions of people in just a few seconds? Question remained. Honorable moderator, another threat to the future generation is a nuclear accident, for example, Chernobyl of Ukraine and Fukushima of Japan. On 26 April 1986, a nuclear accident occurred in the Chernobyl of Ukraine, and it is known as the world's most dangerous nuclear explosion. Even after the 3 decades of the incident, Chernobyl and its surrounding area are still not safe and habitable. The soil, water, air, and even in the milk of the cattle, there remains high levels of radioactivity. Researchers claim that it will take another 20,000 years to normalize the situation of Chernobyl, and it is 400 times dangerous than the Hiroshima accident. In 2006, a report by the environmental organization Greenpeace said that 7,50,000 of the people are suffering from the cancer due to the radioactivity of Chernobyl, and 1 lakh died. Honorable moderator, through this picture, we got to know that how dangerous the nuclear explosion of the Chernobyl was. On 11th March 2011, a nuclear accident occurred in the Fukushima of Japan because of earthquake and tsunami, and the result was severe nuclear explosion. After the incident, till now, miscarriage, birth with mental and physical disorders are seen in the newborn babies. Honorable moderator, this is the picture of the Japan after the nuclear explosion. Honorable moderator, there are many nuclear power plants present in the world. One nuclear power plant is also present in Bangladesh. My opponent, no one knows when such type of accident will occur in Bangladesh. What will you do then? Then how can you think environment pollution as a threat over this nuclear accident? I want a logical reply from you. There is a considerable doubt whether the coronavirus is actually a natural disease, because sometimes we got to know that America is blaming China and China is blaming America of a biological weapon that was released during testing it in the laboratory. Coronavirus has killed 6.9 to 28.3 millions of people. So my opponent, how can you think environment pollution as a threat over these pandemics and biological weapon that has killed millions of the people? I want a logical reply from you. Honorable moderator, my opponent has asked some of the questions about the methane gas. My opponent, my teammate, has already told that it is obviously a carbon-free process. I think you didn't pay attention to our speech. They have also asked about the benefits of the environment pollution. My first debater has already told about the benefits of the environment pollution. Honorable moderator, they have also told that because students are suiciding for the mobile addiction. These are not a major threat to them. My opponent, the students of class 3 and 4 are suiciding for mobile. Aren't they the future of our generation? Thank you, honorable moderator, for listening to my speech, and I would like to call my opponent that please come with us and say that environment pollution is not the major threat. Thank you.
Now the rebuttal phase. I'm inviting for the team leader for the motions, Munka Taranum, to place her logic and points.
First of all, my opponent said about nuclear war and nuclear weapons. Okay, in this case, the weapon used in war mainly pollute the environment. How? Because this weapon use a large amount of fossil fuels, resulting in health risk, and it resulting health risk. And if we look back at the history of Second World War, then the war is ended up, but still the child of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are crippled. Why it's happening? Because the environment is still polluted. Number 2, they talked about Ukraine and Russia. Okay, well, in this case, the question is why the war has occurred. Because the both countries' economic environment, the war has started pointing Crimea. The Dnipro River is the source of pure water of Crimea. On the other hand, when Ukraine are getting close with NATO, European Union, and America, it was risky for the import-export relationship of Ukraine and Russia. And that is why the war was occurred. And now it had some bad effects. So still, the environment is the main matter. And we can hope that the war will end someday. But the effects of environmental pollution is long-lasting. Number 2, they said environmental pollution is decreasing. Where is the proof? Where is the survey? What is the source? We don't know. Where are you getting it? Number 3, they talked about the past generation in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Of course, I did too. But Hiroshima and Nagasaki's phenomenon I set as an example. But they had talked about past generation, and they are trying to say it will happen to our future generation too. Then methane. They are saying this is a carbon-free project. That
we are producing electricity from methane. Okay, it's a carbon-free project. Did I say it that it's not a carbon-free project? No, I didn't. I just said it's more defecting our ozone layer than producing electricity. And suicide for mobile phone, it's lower IQ. That my first speaker and second speaker said it's happened for environmental pollution. Thanks to all.
Now I'm inviting Tasfiya Ulfat Usha, who is a team leader of Against the Motion team leader, for rebuttal.
Thank you, Honorable Moderator, for giving me another chance. HARP. High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program is another threat which was established by the US Air Force in Alaska. Using this, electromagnetic waves can be released into the ionosphere. This huge amount of energy can be used anywhere, anytime, and this can be controlled from the Earth's surface. By this, desired works can be done, for example, excessive rain, earthquake, drought, landslide, etc. It is thought that the recent earthquake that happened in the Turkey is also caused by using the HARP, and for this 50,783 people died. Here, is your environment pollution a threat or HARP? Obviously HARP. On 26 April 2022, Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan said 80% of the total drug addicts are young and 48% of them are educated. 4.31% of the drug addicts are children, and 85% of the street children are drug addicts between the age of 8 to 15 years old. My opponent, these children are also our future generation, but their future is in danger, not because of environment pollution, but because of the drug addiction. So if you still think that environment pollution is the major threat, then your thoughts are like burnt or teared money, which have no value, my opponent. Honorable Moderator, my opponent has asked a valueless question. Environment pollution comes as a result, not because of the cause. The main cause was nuclear weapon of the Hiroshima. Honorable Moderator, so I would like to say that if my opponent please come and say with the same harmony that environment pollution is not the major threat, but the threats that are mentioned by me and my team, like AI effect, biological weapon, nuclear war, food crisis, mobile addiction, drug addiction, can destroy the world at any moment. So please don't waste your time in an illogical and Honorable Moderator, I have noticed one thing that my opponent didn't give the answer some of our questions like biodegradable energy production and CRISPR-Cas9. Who will give the answer of this question? That means you have already defended and accepted that environment pollution is not the major threat. Thank you for agreeing with us. Thank you.
Today the topic was environmental pollution is a major threat to future generation, and we heard a lot of points from both of the team, and they mentioned like the environmental pollutions, technology, AI, smartphone addiction, a lot of points came out, and they are very much important for environmental pollutions which affect our future generation. Future generation, we are talking about the children. So now it could be possible by environmental pollution, it could be possible by technology, but also it could be possible for the social structure and social environment. Nowadays, whenever we change our technology, we change our lifestyle, it directly affects to our future generation. Whenever we change our technology, we use the technology, it affects in our environment. So whenever we talk about a mobile phone or cloud computing, new technologies, it is again affect the environment. So environment is polluting whenever we talk about technology. So we have to control the pollution of environment, but also we have to control the whole social structure. Some of you presented like the kids are committing suicide just because they didn't get a smartphone, because they are not trained at home. The home teachers, who are the home teachers? The parents. They are not training the kids because they are too busy with their careers and lifestyle. So now the social structure is being changed. The children are growing all alone, and that's why they are affected with the drugs, with the smartphone or other technologies. They don't know about the social structure, they don't know the norms of the social environment and everything. So these are all traits of their future, not only the environment, not only the technology, because you cannot control the technology, you cannot stop using the technology, and you cannot stop polluting the environment. But what we have to do, we have to stop or reduce the pollution. We have to think about the green computing, have to work with the green environment. For the green environment, we have to stop using all of the equipments or reduce the using them so that we can pollute our environment less. Or sometime some of the team members, they mentioned about should reuse the polluted thing, reuse all the products so that we can reduce the environment pollution. So we already get our result. And though both of the team members gave a very good points, but we have a winner. So winner team of the today is Ananda Multimedia School and College, Cumilla. And this speaker is from the same school, Tasfia Ulfat Kusha, the team leader of the. I'm congratulating both of the team, and you did a very good job today. Thank you all.